Welcome to the Dirt Time channel. I'm Alan Halcon.
I'm Christopher Niergesh.
And again, here we are with our friend Paul Campbell.
Paul Campbell, author of Survival Skills of Native California.
You have to look at the title every time you say
Well,
it.
I know what it is, but I'm just trying. I want to get it right.
Memorize it.
Survival Skills of Native California.
Well, speaking of which, you know what, Paul? I think it'd be really cool if we show everyone out there in TV land or YouTube land what your workshop looks like. I mean, every time I go there, I'm just like, it's jaw-dropping. All the stuff that you've made, it's like museum quality type stuff, in my opinion.
It's very junky. Most of the things are packed away, but you're welcome to walk in.
All right, cool.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're in Paul's workshop. This is an awesome place, Paul. And you said it's junky. It's really just full of all kind of things with wood and stone. Why don't you show us some of the highlights of the things you're working on in here?
Well, one of the things I was working on was the sprinkler system, which almost caught us out there.
Okay, remember? So the sprinkler system. That's we all need to know that.
That's an African bow and quiver over here. My brother sent me. They still use them quite a bit, and some arrows, interesting arrows from Africa.
Okay.
As I say, still in use there.
What part of Africa do they make those?
He's in the Kenya.
In Kenya, okay.
And this is a replica of a Northern California. As you see, there's some trout in this.
And there's cordage, of course.
A little.
Yeah, but the cordage, I'm sure Paul made the cordage.
Yeah.
Did you make that cordage?
This is all made out of dog bane.
Dog bane, cool.
Made in the Northern California style.
And with typical netting with a shuttle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this you can carry just carry in a pocket or anything else, or tied to your game belt. And then when you get to the stream, you cut yourself 2 pieces of willow and form it up like that. You've got a nice little.
So, Paul, let me get this straight. When we say this is your workshop, I would say 95% of the stuff in here you made.
Pretty much, probably, yeah.
Is this for fish too?
Just a typical shoe mash style, or a pomo style, probably. This is actually the pomo style on the top here. Fish trap. Very simple.
So you put it in the river and the fish swim in and they can't get back out, right?
Fish can't back up very easily. Plus they get wedged in down here at the bottom. That's a Yokuts cage to keep decoy doves before you use them. They tie a little string to a little piece of cordage to the another use for cordage to the foot of the bird, and then lure them in and catch them in a snare, in a loop snare at the end of a.
Let me emphasize cordage that you made.
Yeah, all cordage I made. This is milkweed cordage, and this is just using the twined inner bark of the willow itself. All along here.
And so this is just a carrier to keep live animals.
Yeah, exactly.
And what tribes used that?
The Yokuts in the Great Central Valley.
Okay.
And as I say, they kept doves and other birds to use as decoys to come in and trap out of blinds. They would trap other birds when they came in. This is a carrying net.
From agave fiber.
Net, all agave fiber, made by the Kumeyaay Indians south of San Diego,
south
in
of
Sierra
Mexico.
Juarez. They still know how to make them like this.
And what is it? This is for carrying on like the tump line?
With a tump line. This is the tump line right up here.
All right.
And
this is some kind of a cordage thing.
It's the same thing. It's just another huge net.
Okay.
Another huge net.
And
oh my God!
What have you got right here, Paul?
Well, that's something from the southeast. Friends of mine made that from
a bark basket.
Shiley Museum in
so you know
North Carolina.
When you do all the work of making baskets, it takes a lot of work. If you can get just a piece of bark and fold it, that's easy. You score it and fold it, right?
Right.
And sew it. And then you say this is from where?
North Carolina.
And what kind of wood is that?
I should know. Probably tulip.
Tulip tree, maybe. Yeah.
We call it the tulip
Very
tree.
interesting.
And this is just the wood that I'm, in the process of. I got sandals over here. A number of different kinds of sandals.
Well, hey Christopher, look at all those sandals.
Wow.
Did you make all those sandals?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is Paul's famous for the Mogollon style sandal.
That isn't Mogollon though. That particular one is Anasazi.
This one is?
Yeah. This would be more of a.
There's more Mogollon.
This is the Mogollon style here.
So when you read Paul's book, he describes how he figured out what the plate was for this and how they're made.
Right.
This is very common all throughout the Southwest, and you would call this a Chumash style, right?
Or Southern California, really.
Southern
California style
see that.
fiber sandal. Yeah,
this one's very heavy.
Out of agave fibers too, just woven back and forth in a figure-8 weave with a base cord around this way, then comes out here, forms your tie.
So that looks like it would be a very comfortable walking sandal.
Very comfortable.
And this one
used them as expedition sandals. Old people wore them in the desert to prevent their feet from blistering or from getting a thorn.
Now,
from a
what style of
cactus.
yucca was this?
That's either banana yucca or Mojave yucca.
So it's the one that you
but
get out into
the
Utah.
Mogollon themselves would use, I believe, a banana yucca,
Yeah,
which
'cause
starts to occur towards eastern California, but it's virtually the same as our Mojave yucca.
Okay. Yucca mojavensis. Okay,
I don't
okay.
know how to say it.
It's a very heavy sandal,
Yeah.
and it seems like
very
it's very
sturdy,
durable.
very sturdy. Using a whole leaf. You're using the whole leaf.
What have you got here, Paul?
Just these
More
are
nets?
carrying bags.
Carrying bags?
Indian carrying bags.
And you did you make these?
No.
You got them in Baja.
Yeah, I watched them being made, and I learned how to make them, and I can teach people how to make them. I had some people over here the other day, and we made bags like this. I just put the materials in there.
And are you just
Or
using jute to show the technique?
Exactly, to
Yeah.
demonstrate the technique.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is what we showed at Dirt Time. Maybe not with the primitive skills
That's
or the
right.
primitive
That was one of the
shuttle.
highlights
Well, we
of
did
Dirt
quite a
Time.
bit of that. Yeah,
was the
we
net
did.
making class, right?
Yeah.
We did that.
Yeah. Were you there, Paul, for the Dirt Time net making class?
Well, I was one of the
Oh, that's right. You were one of
instructors, helping
yeah.
our poor friend back here.
Yeah, Paul, of course, is on the board of the Society of Primitive Technology. Okay. Advisor to the board, whatever.
What do we have on this side over here? We
Oh
have
my
a
God.
lot of stuff.
Yeah,
This
just-
is way cool.
Just too much stuff.
These are bows in states of progress?
Yeah, I just went out to, in fact, where you teach your classes, Christopher, and I cut a willow tree the other day.
That was your favorite willow, by the way, Christopher, that he cut.
I hid it up in the bushes down there.
That was my favorite
I split it, put it up in the bushes to let it cure. And if you split them down right away, the moisture can come out. Leave it at a fairly regular thickness.
When you say you split it and you left it there?
Yeah.
You
Left it hidden in some trees.
Why didn't you just
Can't-
bring it home?
Well, didn't want to be caught with it.
Oh, okay.
Came back.
He was afraid you would show up and chastise him for cutting your favorite
Came
willow.
back a few days later and just finished it. Finished it off. It didn't take much.
Did you use a stone to do this work?
This is all done with stonework.
Now, I
And
find...
it's a very effective bow for a very quick bow like that. Very effective.
So this is the full width almost of
This is the full width right here. I left the
Okay.
full width as the handle, so you can see what the original.
Do you find
like-
that willow
yeah,
twists much as it dries?
That's what I say. If you do it improperly, it does,
Okay.
but it doesn't always. It depends on the piece. If you have a nice straight piece without a lot of torque or twist to it, it shouldn't too much.
So the
but
key
it
is-
depends on how it dries. And in order to get it to dry evenly, you've got to split it and bring it down to an even depth. So it's not
Okay.
drying just from the back; it's drying from the inside too. So you've literally created a very. So it's drying uniformly everywhere.
So you took
and
the
rather
bark
quickly.
off.
This is how to make a quick bow.
You took the bark off.
I took the bark off. Now this piece is oak, which is not easy to find. I found this pretty deep into the mountains. A nice straight piece of scrub oak, very difficult to find. In order to prevent this from warping, as you notice, I split it down to a fairly even thickness all the way through, and
So Paul,
this is a natural piece. This is how I'll have to use it. Now I would have preferred to have it the other way. In other words, so that this would be the
so it's
back.
a slight recurve.
Yeah, so so the inside handle part is slightly
I see.
decurved, but or recurved, I should say. Or at any rate, I couldn't do that because the back was very rough, had a lot of knots and things.
So
but
you took
how I envisioned the back. So I took that part off and made that the front, and this
Okay.
this is fairly even.
So you took a sharp pieced rock and you just whacked away.
Took it down. like
Did
this.
you mark it or score it? So you
No,
just eyeballed it.
Just
Yeah.
by my eye.
Yeah.
And this technique really I learned from Tim Baker to bring it down to rough out the bow quickly, but not all the way down, and don't take anything off the sides. I did a little bit, but almost nothing. Nothing off the sides.
Nothing off the
No,
back.
just off the belly. Bring it down to pretty close to where you're going to want it, and that way it'll dry with less chance of warping, and it'll do it quickly.
How much time?
But again, I have to emphasize, I learned that from Tim Baker.
Okay. How much time do you have in a bow like this? How much did that take you?
Just a few hours.
3 hours?
2-3 hours.
2 or 3 hours.
maximum,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's not
And we
finished,
could- we
but
could
it's
take-
still pretty functional.
It
right?
is finished. It's good
Oh, it
enough.
is? Okay, it's
yeah,
functional.
I could take some Indian sandpaper, or equisetum, or horsetails they call it, and smooth it down better.
Okay.
But this is just a piece of stone.
We could spend hours in here.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
fantastic. Thank you, Paul. I'm Christopher. This is Paul Campbell, and back there is Alan Halcon. Thank you very much, folks. We'll try to come again another day.